What's up, Celtics Nation? Buckle up because today's video is packed with crucial updates and playoff insights that you do not want to miss. The Boston Celtics have officially wrapped up their regular season with an impressive 61 wins and just 21 losses, securing the second seed in the Eastern Conference. That's right, this squad has been dominant all year long, and now the real test begins as the playoffs tip off. And who do we get in the first round? The Orlando Magic. A team that's not here just to make up the numbers. They've got heart, hustle, and just enough danger to turn this into a serious showdown. Orlando finished their season with an even 41 wins and 41 losses, clinching the 7th seed after outlasting the Atlanta Hawks in the play-in tournament. And while that .500 record might not scream threat, don't be fooled. This Magic team has caused plenty of problems for the Celtics before. In fact, they actually won the regular season series against Boston, 2-1. Sure, one of those wins came when the Celtics rested nearly every key player. But still, it's a reminder that you can't sleep on this group. Early in the season, Orlando was looking like they might be one of the top 4 teams in the East. They came out strong, playing physical defense, running in transition, and leaning on their young stars to carry the load. But things took a sharp turn when 2 of their key players, all-star forward Paolo Banchero and starting wing Franz Wagner, both went down with right oblique injuries. That double blow derailed their momentum and dropped them into the chaos of the play-in picture. Even though they recovered enough to earn their spot in the playoffs, they're limping into the postseason with a serious disadvantage. And it doesn't stop there. They'll also be without their defensive anchor in the backcourt, Jalen Suggs. The all-defensive team point guard underwent arthroscopic surgery to remove a cartilage fragment from his left knee, and he's done for the year. That's a brutal loss for Orlando, especially against a team like Boston that has no shortage of elite perimeter talent. Suggs' absence leaves a major gap in their defense, and the Celtics are definitely going to test that weakness. Now let's talk about what head coach Joe Mazzulla had to say heading into this series. This is his 3rd season leading the team, and he knows better than anyone that the playoffs are a whole different beast. There's no such thing as an easy series, and no opponent is going to roll over. In fact, Mazzulla made it clear that he's expecting a war right from Game 1. He said, "It's the playoffs. I would imagine that everybody is going to play us tough. It's our job to play them just as tough. I expect it to be a very tough series. They're very well coached, they have a lot of versatility, they've got a lot of talent. So I expect from here on out, every game is going to be a fight." That's not just coach speak. There's real respect there. Orlando might be young, but they've shown grit all season long. They love to grind it out on defense, make things ugly, and force you to beat them possession by possession. If Boston comes in thinking this is a walkover, things could get complicated fast. Mazzulla knows that his team has to bring that same physicality and focus to avoid any early playoff surprises. Now, let's not forget that last meeting between these 2 teams back on April 9th. On paper, it was a blowout. The Celtics lost 96-76. But here's the catch. Boston was missing almost all of their top guys. No Jason Tatum. No Jaylen Brown. No Kristaps Porzingis. No Al Horford. Even the defensive stalwarts were sitting that one out. In their place, it was the rookies and bench guys taking the floor, and while they held their own, it wasn't enough against a more complete Orlando roster that night. Baylor Shireman, the rookie forward, and Peyton Pritchard, who's in the mix for 6th Man of the Year, led the Celtics with 15 points each. They fought hard, but it was clear the team was using that game to rest and regroup ahead of the postseason. On the other side, Franz Wagner showed just how dangerous he can be when healthy. He dropped 23 points on 9 of 17 shooting, including 2 of 4 from deep and a perfect 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Add in 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, and you've got a complete performance from a player who's going to be a big part of this series if he's fully fit. So what does all this mean heading into Game 1? Well, it's simple. Boston has the talent, the experience, and the depth to make a deep run in these playoffs. But that doesn't mean anything comes easy. The Magic are banged up, but they've still got weapons. They've still got pride. And sometimes, that's when a team is at its most dangerous, when nobody expects them to win. Boston's path back to the finals starts here, and this opening round could set the tone for everything that follows. If they come out sharp, focused, and ready to impose their will, this could be a quick series. But if they let Orlando hang around, drop a game or two early, or underestimate the hunger of a young squad with nothing to lose, things could get uncomfortable fast. Now, if we really break down what makes this matchup interesting beyond just stats and standings, it's all about the styles clashing. You've got the Celtics, a team loaded with veteran experience, elite two-way players, and a roster built for deep postseason runs. Their identity is crystal clear: ball movement, spacing, defense, and versatility. Whether it's Tatum creating off the dribble, Brown slashing through defenses, or Porzingis stretching the floor from deep, Boston knows how to dictate the pace and make teams play on their terms. But the playoffs always have a way of shaking things up, and that's where the unpredictability of a young team like Orlando makes them dangerous. The Magic aren't supposed to win. They know that. They've heard all the talk. They're banged up, they lack experience, and they're facing a juggernaut. But sometimes that underdog mentality fuels the fire. There's zero pressure on them. They're not defending a title. They're not the ones with sky-high expectations or the weight of a city on their shoulders. And that freedom can lead to fearless basketball. You might see guys taking risks, pushing the tempo, or diving for every loose ball like it's their last game. That's what Boston needs to be ready for: an emotional, aggressive, nothing-to-lose type of opponent that's going to treat every possession like it's Game 7. And let's not forget, the Celtics have their own narrative they're carrying into this postseason. After coming up short in recent years, after building and tweaking this roster to be championship-ready, now is the time. There's no more development window. No more "we'll get them next year" mindset. The core of this team is in its prime. Tatum is not a kid anymore. He's one of the best players in the league and knows what it takes to lead. Brown has evolved into a lethal second option who could be the number one guy on half the teams in the league. Then you've got the addition of Porzingis, who, when healthy, brings a whole new dimension to both sides of the floor. The combination of size, shooting, and rim protection has elevated the Celtics ceiling. And with veterans like Horford anchoring the locker room and smart role players like Derek White and Drew Holiday bringing toughness and IQ, this squad is built to win now. But winning now starts with winning Game 1. And it starts with treating Orlando with the respect they've earned. Yes, they're missing Suggs. Yes, they stumbled into the playoffs. But that doesn't mean they can't punch back. Banchero, even coming off an injury, is a rising star with the kind of scoring skill set that can change a game in minutes. Franz Wagner, as we saw earlier in the season, can light up a scoreboard if you give him space. And the rest of the supporting cast, guys like Cole Anthony, Wendell Carter Jr., and Jonathan Isaac, aren't just filler. They can defend, rebound, and hit big shots if left unchecked. The key for Boston will be to come out aggressive, but smart. They need to impose their will early, set the tone physically, and execute on both ends. That means locking in defensively, communicating through switches, closing out hard on shooters, and making life miserable for Orlando's young core. On offense, it means trusting the ball movement, not settling for contested threes, and attacking mismatches relentlessly. Boston's at their best when they're playing connected, unselfish basketball, and when their defense leads to offense, that's when they become truly scary. This series also gives some valuable playoff reps to the bench unit. Peyton Pritchard has been phenomenal all year off the bench, providing instant offense and keeping the tempo high when the starters rest. If he continues that energy in the postseason, it could be a game changer. Guys like Sam Hauser, Oshie Brissett, and even rookie Baylor Shireman might see meaningful minutes if the games get physical or if foul trouble comes into play. These aren't just warm bodies. They're part of the system, and when called upon, they have to be ready to deliver. And let's not ignore the coaching side of things. Joe Mazzulla may only be in his third year, but he's already shown that he can handle the pressure. Last season's playoff run gave him a crash course in postseason intensity, and you can bet he's learned from that experience. The rotations are tighter now. The timeouts are more strategic, and his understanding of matchups, adjustments, and how to manage the rhythm of a game is growing every month. Against a younger, less experienced coaching staff on the Orlando side, This could be a key factor in how the series plays out. Mazzulla's job isn't just XS and OS. It's keeping his guys mentally locked in, emotionally balanced, and ready to respond to whatever the Magic throw at them. From a fan's perspective, this is what we've been waiting for all year. Every game, every big shot, every defensive stop, it all leads to this moment. The regular season was about positioning. The playoffs are about legacy. And for this Celtics team, everything they've built, all the hype, all the expectations, they all come to a head right here. Lose focus, and they could be out faster than anyone expects. Stay sharp, and they could be on a path to Banner 18. So yeah, Orlando might not look like the scariest opponent on paper. But basketball isn't played on paper. It's played in the paint, on the perimeter, in the clutch moments when the lights are brightest. And that's when champions are made or broken. The Celtics know that. Now it's time to show it. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The whispers have turned into a full-blown storm, as NBA fans and analysts alike grapple with the stunning rumor that Kevin Durant, one of the greatest players of his generation, may be open to joining the Boston Celtics in 2025. A potential move like this would not only shift the balance of power in the Eastern Conference, but also ignite fierce debates over Durant's legacy and his place in Boston's storied basketball history. Known for his sharp scoring ability, clutch performances, and versatility, Durant's rumored interest in the Celtics comes as a shock to many. But could it be the next chapter in his already legendary career? Durant's professional journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. From his explosive rise with the Seattle Supersonics, now the Oklahoma City Thunder, to his back-to-back championships with the Golden State Warriors, Durant has become a household name. His impact on the Phoenix Suns since joining them is undeniable, but recent whispers indicate he might not be done searching for that elusive perfect team. The Celtics, with their rich history, passionate fan base, and competitive roster, seem to be an ideal destination for a player like Durant who craves both individual accolades and a chance to compete for championships year after year. What makes this rumor even more intriguing is the timing. Durant, who is currently enduring a challenging season with the Suns, has been plagued by injuries, including a calf strain and ankle sprain that sidelined him for a stretch of games. His injuries have raised concerns about his longevity, yet they've also fueled speculation about his next move. A change in scenery, especially to a team with championship aspirations like the Celtics, could rejuvenate his career, offering him the chance to be part of an already potent squad while potentially adding the final piece to their championship puzzle. The Celtics, meanwhile, have had a mixed postseason history in recent years. Despite boasting stars like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they have fallen short in their quest for a title, often coming up just short in the critical moments. A player of Durant's caliber could provide them with the offensive firepower and leadership necessary to elevate their play when it matters most. With Durant, the Celtics would not only gain one of the NBA's best scorers, but also a player who thrives under pressure, someone who could be the difference maker in tight playoff battles. If this rumor turns out to be more than just speculation, the implications would be immense. A pairing between Durant and the Celtics would send shockwaves through the NBA, creating an immediate championship contender in the Eastern Conference. Whether Durant's interest in Boston is genuine or just a strategic move to garner attention, one thing is clear. The basketball world is on high alert, waiting to see what happens next in this thrilling saga. Fans are holding their breath, knowing that when Durant makes a decision, the entire landscape of the NBA could change in an instant. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.